Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Mona Doman, and I'm the proud commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, and so proud of all the work that is done here at the BCA, and we are so honored to have our governor with us this morning. Governor Dayton, honored guests, and Department of Public Safety employees and visitors, welcome to the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. As I said, we are so proud and excited to have you, Governor Dayton, here at the BCA as we recognize the proclamation of Forensic Science Week in Minnesota. Forensic science is vitally important to the safety of the people of Minnesota. It has the power to identify the guilty and exonerate the innocent. Last year, more than 63,000 pieces of evidence were received in these labs, helping move more than 18,000 investigations from across this state towards resolution. The science applied here is sophisticated, but the concept is simple. Every day, BCA lab scientists and staff, professionals accredited across 9 disciplines in forensic science, are working for and with law enforcement agencies across the state, and they deserve our recognition for the significant contributions. Our hope is that by drawing attention to the quality of work done by these women and men, we might spur conversations about achieving truth through science. We want people to know that the best police work is made even better with science, and that good science promotes justice and peace. Thank you once again for being here with us to celebrate these under-recognized members of our public safety team, and to thank them for helping us assure Minnesotans that the enforcement of law in our state is based on cold, hard, provable facts and scientific truth. And I'd like now to turn the podium over to Kathy Knutson, our lab director. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Forensic Science Laboratory has a long history of a commitment to quality and a dedication to offering the most current and cutting-edge forensic science tools to the criminal justice community. Several of our staff are nationally recognized in their field and work consistently to further the field through research, development, and collaboration with partners both nationally and internationally. All of our staff, both here in the St. Paul Laboratory, as well as in our northern laboratory located in Bemidji, are highly trained professionals who work day in and day out to offer the most high level of quality services to everybody who depends upon it. Many of our staff have dedicated their entire careers to the field of forensic science and to making sure that they provide the highest quality service to those who depend upon us every day. I would like to express my appreciation, as well as the appreciation of our staff and the Office of the Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, to the Governor's Office for his investment and attention to forensic science and his acknowledgement of this critical service that we offer to the state of Minnesota. So with that, I would like to welcome Governor Mark Dayton to the BCA Laboratory.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you very much. Thank you. You'll learn it's risky to, on behalf of a whole group of people, offer their appreciation to the governor for anything. You know. And there's something wrong with this picture here. Here's all of you are lined up in the back there, and here's the Capitol Press Corps sitting in the front rows. That's the power of the press, I guess. What can you do? I'm really glad to be here today, and normally speaking, I don't go to events where I know virtually nothing about the subject that all of you are experts in. I guess this is a week for exceptions. I went down to Red Wing earlier in the week for Red Wing Ignite, where they're putting together this cutting-edge computer interface and interaction and all, which obviously you can tell I didn't understand. In fact, not only did I not know what a gigabit was, I didn't even know how to pronounce it properly until I got down there. So this is my second exception, which I'm pleased to make because, first of all, I have such enormous respect for Commissioner Doman. He's just doing a phenomenal job leading the overall department, and secondly, because I have such great respect for all of you and the work that you do. You know, your ability to identify criminals and those who committed acts of any kind, but especially violent acts, is one of the phenomenal breakthroughs of science in my lifetime, and for the social implications that it has. To be able to identify, even in the past, people who have, in some cases, I think it's going to be demonstrated, been wrongly convicted, is a transformative event in their lives, as is the ability to identify wrongdoers and put them behind bars where they belong for as long as they belong there. With that awesome power comes a commensurate responsibility for accuracy and for reliability, and that's where, again, you excel. And the fact that the BCA you've taken that responsibility to heart and have developed those standards, that you have the accreditation that is appropriate for, again, the amount of responsibility that your work, the amount of weight it will carry, is really, really important. And there was legislation, as you probably know, last session that would have required all the labs of your kind in Minnesota to be accredited by July 1st of 2015. And that legislation seemed to be going along smoothly until the very last week of the session. At least that's when I learned that the House member had pulled it. And I talked to him. I called him up and objected, and he promised me that he would bring this up. He was the author of the legislation, I believe, in the House. He promised me that he would bring it up again next session, and that the due date would still be July 1st of 2015. So I'm telling you all that so that more than one person knows. And I trust that I can rely on his word, and that we'll get this, because, again, it would be just tragic and inexcusable for someone, because of sloppy procedures or inadequate standards, to make a mistake. I mean, the reliance on your conclusions and your identification is going to become, I think, so overwhelming in jurors' minds and the like, that if one of these entities is wrong, destroy somebody's life. And we can't let that happen. We can't let the credibility of what you've worked hard to achieve be undermined by somewhere else where they don't meet your standards and the proper standards of your profession. So thank you very much for what you do. Thank you for your hard work day in, day out. Thank you for not letting one of the local government, was it Hennepin County, Anoka County, pirate you away. We appreciate that very much, and in recognition of that and activities, I have the privilege as governor, and I'm not going to read all the whereases because I can't see them, and also they're boring. But the point of it, you can read them yourself. The point is that I get to proclaim this week of August 11th to 17th, 2013, is Forensic Science Week in Minnesota. So thank you very much again. Congratulations. And we can do questions here, or we move all these folks out.
Questions about the lab?
If you're willing to listen to a brief news conference, then I can have a chance to go around and say hello to everybody afterward, without having them all mad at me, which is not a good idea for somebody in my situation. So, questions on the forensic lab, or anything related to DPS directly?
I'm startled by the number of cases, Commissioner, that you talked about. 18,000, is it? And the pieces of evidence, would you talk about, or perhaps talk about that? That has to be quite a bit of pressure on folks to make sure everything is right.
Well, absolutely. With that number of cases, obviously there are a lot of individuals in the state who are relying on us to provide the highest quality testing services that we can. And we've put ourselves in a position with the accreditation and the high quality of the individuals that we have working in this lab to make sure that they can handle that pressure and make sure that the quality of every piece of those pieces of evidence, no matter how many we have, is second to none.
And I'm largely uninformed on all of this, but what is the most evidence you bring in now? What category?
It would really depend on the discipline. We offer 9 different areas of forensic science, and with each of those different disciplines, the type of case levels are very different. For example, in the DNA section, the majority of the cases that do come in involve criminal sexual conduct.
And the DNA has been something that has, over the last 15, 20 years, has become a very big part of this.
Absolutely.
How do you ensure that once your findings get to court, that they're not a chain of custody questions or, not that you would make mistakes, but that a lawyer could, raise questions?
Well, as part of the accreditation requirements, we're required to keep a very accurate chain of custody, for example, and all of the information that we keep in our records is privy to discovery, and we'll stand by every part of the process that we perform here in our laboratory.
And as a government system, we can't make mistakes.
Well, everybody makes mistakes, but there is a corrective action process, and there needs to be processes in place to be able to catch whatever mistakes are made before they have a negative impact on the cases in which they are submitted.
Have you seen a growing interest in this because of media, because of television? Have you seen a growing interest in the work that you do?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that has been going on for some years now, and in a way, the increase in scrutiny has definitely increased the level of quality that's expected from what's provided by forensic science laboratories. So in a way, it's definitely a good thing.
Sorry, one more question. Who are the people who work for you? Who are these folks here? And tell me who they are, the scientists,
So one by one, if you just come up
Yeah.
and state your occupation.
who are these folks?
Well, there's a range of individuals who make this laboratory work in the way that it is meant to work, ranging from support staff who bring in the evidence from the front end, all the way to the individuals who send the evidence back. And in between, there's the high-level forensic scientists who conduct the scientific examinations, and they have the education and the experience that's commensurate with that responsibility.
What are some of the other areas besides DNA?
Yes, in addition to DNA, that we offer testing in toxicology, drug chemistry, trace analysis, chemical testing, also in firearms examinations, latent prints, question documents, and on breath testing. We also offer crime scene processing services.
Do most of your services, are they for local, sheriff's departments, police departments, and that versus state cases?
We service all law enforcement agencies within the state of Minnesota.
Are there, even the ones that have their own labs, do they rely on you for certain things?
For certain things, yes. We are the only full-service accredited laboratory in the state, so there are some examinations that are unique to our laboratory.
How long does it take to do proper DNA tests?
Proper DNA testing is not a quick test, and no exams that are done in the proper fashion. So, and it really will depend. That's an answer that really can't be relayed at this point, just because it's so dependent on so many factors.